You are Locked On Marlins POSTCAST, part of Locked On Sports Miami on the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What is up, Fish fans? What a day it is to be a Marlins fan. Those last couple innings in Philadelphia, the Marlins get it done. They score 7 runs from the 7th inning on against the Phillies' venerable bullpen. They hold that powerful lineup in check the rest of the way. They even add a run in the 9th inning. Jake Burger has a big game. The Marlins win 7-4. They have a 2-game win streak against the Phillies, and they open up this 4-game series in the city of universal hatred for all mankind. Just kidding. City of brotherly love, Philadelphia. 7-4. And this anemic offense that hadn't scored 7 runs in 7 seasons, or so it seems. You like that? So it seems, right? They score 7 in 2 innings today. Unbelievable job by the Marlins. 7 runs in the 7th and 8th innings. They erase a 3-0 deficit, come back and beat the Phillies 7-4 in Philadelphia. Real quick, want to remind you that you are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. The victorious Marlins over the Phillies today. Thank you for making this your first listen every day. We're pumped to have you here on the channel. Subscribers going up. Thanks to Baseball Fan 31 for pointing that out to me. And yeah, we're free and available wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And today in particular, this episode of your Locked On Marlins postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. I like that. Booking.yeah. The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. And the Marlins are staying in Philadelphia for quite a while, and I hope they use Booking.com to get that room in Philly. Better watch that room tonight. Make sure no one's trying anything funny with the food or anything like that after that win today. But talk about a great win for the Marlins, and we're going to get into this bad boy right now for you. But just an awesome victory for them. Jake Burger's first home run since June 13th. I think I've had about 10 burgers since then. It gave the Marlins the lead in the 8th, and that was it. They added 2 more runs. Josh Bell ripped an RBI single, an error on the Phillies shortstop, Edmundo Sosa. And those bullpen guys for the Phillies been killing everybody all year. The Marlins got them tonight. Burger 3 for 5, the homer, 2 RBIs. Bryan De La Cruz with a 3-run double tied it in the 7th. Bryce Harper and Kyle Schwarber came up lame in this game. Kyle Schwarber came in from the outfield after chasing down a ball in the gap. His hamstring, I think, was bothering him, and then Bryce Harper at the end of the game made the last out at first base, and he came up lame as well. Hit the bag awkwardly, immediately grabbed his hamstring, and that is a $700 gazillion hamstring on Bryce Harper. I mean, he just got named an all-star starter, 5 times starts in the outfield, now at first base. He's got 20 homers, 20 doubles, 58 ribs, and now he might have a strained hamstring. And if they don't have Schwarber and they don't have Harper for this series, big break for the Marlins pitching staff, to say the least. The MASH unit, the Miami MASH unit. But, you know, they're holding their breath for sure in Philly. Zach Wheeler was dominating for the Phils in this game. Couldn't make it out of the 7th. We'll give you the details on that. Also, man, you know, Trevor Rogers has been pretty good lately. He's been the most consistent pitcher on this team, just given the fact that he's not on the IL, right? I mean, Weathers is out till, July 12th. Luzardo's on the 60-day, 4 to 6 weeks, right? And the other guys who are on the DL, too. You got your ace, Alcantara, on the DL for the year. You got so many pitchers out and injured this year. And when you look at the Phillies and what they've been able to do, yeah, they got the big bats. Yeah, they got Harper. Yeah, of course they do. And they have Alec Boehm, who's killing it this year, and you got Kyle Schwarber. I mean, just Trea Turner had a big day today. Huge bats in the Phillies lineup, right? Huge bats in the Phillies lineup. But look at their starting pitching. That's why they're so good. That is why the Phillies are so good. They have excellent starting pitching. Their starting pitching is the best in baseball this year. Come at me, bro. You think they're not? They're the best pitching staff in baseball this year. And then when you factor in how great look, they haven't really done anything wrong all year. They haven't done much wrong. I mean, when you're doing what they're doing and you're winning like they're winning, 53-28, you know what I mean? You haven't even lost 30 games yet, and it's just about to break. You know what I'm saying? That's a good start to the year for the Phillies. Not quite as good as the Yanks, and, you know, who else is up there in that grouping? The Yanks and the, where are the Dodgers at right now? Dodgers are 51-31, Phillies 53-28. So right now, Philly would have home field throughout the playoffs in the NL with the Dodgers nipping at their heels. How about that for an NLCS? Dodgers, Phillies, like the late 70s, early 80s. Man, Tommy Lasorda would have loved that. Tell you what, the Phillies and the Dodgers might be on that collision course. But who's going to be the wild card team that gets hot? Can you believe the Mets are already at 500, 39 and 39? They are on fire right now. They're 3 games above 500 on the road. They're 8-2 in their last 10. That's the kind of streak the Marlins can do. That's what I'm talking about. You know, and it's unlucky too when you have a streak like that and the teams ahead of you are doing pretty good. They gained 3 games in that streak in the standings, which isn't bad, but still 6-4 for the Phillies and the Braves during that run has crept the Mets closer, but they're not there yet. And you know, you look at the Padres, for example, 7-3 in their last 10, but the Dodgers are 8-2. They actually lost a game going 7-3. That's demoralizing throughout a season. You go 7-3, you whip off a win streak like that, whip off a win streak. I'll be okay. You rip off a win streak like that, and man, that's to lose a game. That's completely demoralizing. The Yanks are 52-30. The Orioles 51-30. The Mets just beat up on the Yankees. The Guardians 51 wins, so the Yanks, Orioles, and Guardians right there. So the Phillies do have the best record in baseball. Dodgers right behind them. Yanks, O's, and Guardians. The Cleveland Guardians really playing well right now. Let's take a look, though, at how the Marlins got this one done today. They were down 3-0 heading into the 7th inning, and they don't score, so you're just used to them not scoring, right? Let's take you through the play-by-play. 29-52, by the way, for the Marlins. 13-25 away. All they have to do is lose tomorrow, and they'll have won half the number of games they've lost on the road. That's an optimistic approach, right, Jim? Yeah, thanks. Somebody slap me. Let me come through the screen here. We got some comments in the room. Where are you at, Baseball Fan 31? Jake Berger is a hero. Celebratory burger today. It's Burger Day in South Florida, right? Or it might not be Burger Day. More like Bobrovsky Day. Panthers Day. Panthers Week. Panthers Month. Panthers Year. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, it's a lot of fun. And what they're doing right now is pretty dope. I'm really excited to see how well they're playing. And they're not scoring runs. That's the thing about this team. The 7 runs they scored today, I'll get more on that later in the show. But they started off tonight, and you're facing Zach Wheeler. The dude throws cheds. He's 96 with a 4-seamer. The cutter's 90. The curve, the splitter is 89. The cutter's 91. The 4-seamer, 96, 97. This dude is legit. He's a beast. And he just goes out there every 5 days, kicking his legs, snorting like a bull. You know what I'm saying? And he got the game started out, though. And all that jazz. I love when Jazz Chisholm just battles, man. This dude is a gamer in every sense of the word when you're speaking about Jazz, right? Jazz Chisholm. Unbelievable. He sees 7 pitches in that first at-bat of the game. He strikes out on the 7th pitch, swinging on a 4-seamer. That was 97. Wheeler reaching back for a little something extra in that AB. But you know what? Jazz Chisholm looking pretty good there. And you kind of thought like maybe later on he'll get locked in on Wheeler. Nobody else was going to get locked in on Wheeler, though. He was going to make sure of it. De La Cruz, strike. Bell lines out the shortstop. He's been locked in. Josh Bell's hitting the ball on the screws lately. Bottom of the first for the Phillies. They have 3 L's on their jerseys when you open them and unbutton them. Just so you know, useless trivia here on the show. Kyle Schwarber flies out to center. Trea Turner walks. Harper doubles to right. Trea Turner scores. Just like that. Just like that. Shout out to my boy Mike Goldberg, longtime voice of the UFC. Harper doubles to right. Turner scores. The Marlins in the top of the second, nothing doing after Sanchez reached on an infield single. Bottom second for the Phils. No runs on 2 hits as Merrifield walked. Pache singles to left, and Marchand flies out to center. Schwarber an infield single. Nobody scored for the Phillies that inning. Top of the third for the Marlins. Wheeler hits Sanchez with a pitch. It's a sinker. Thank the Lord for him. Although it was not 97 like the 4-seamer, it was still 94. 94 on a sinker. That's Kevin Brown type sinker. Remember how great Kevin Brown's 94-mile-an-hour sinker was? Thanks, Kev, for Game 7 in 2003. But other than that, was it 2003 or 2004? 2004. Yeah, the idiots. Cowboy up, those guys. Thanks to Millar for leaving Florida. I never let him live that down, Millar. But, yeah, so the Marlins don't score in the third. Bottom of the third for the Phillies. Nope, nothing. He got Harper to strike out. Rogers did, leading off the inning. Then he gets Bohm to fly to right field, and just like that, the inning is over. Sandwiched in a walk in there. Zach Wheeler in the 4th, absolutely dealing. Berger singles to left. Gordon strikes out swinging. Then an Anderson double play. TA, shortstop the second to first. And that was all she wrote there. The Phillies doubled it up to 2-0 in the bottom of the 4th inning on Rogers with Marchand homering to left field, 409 feet. Top of the 5th for the Marlins. Wheeler just killing it. Lopez lines out. Sanchez single. Chisholm double play. Those are the things that a great pitcher like Wheeler does. Even when he walks someone, hits you, gives up a hit, he comes right back and he'll get the double play more often than not, or he'll come right back and strike a guy out. And those are the pitcher's best friends at times like that. He's great at those things. I mean, Moto Award, Master of the Obvious, M-O-T-O, Jim, M-O-T-O. But in the bottom of the fifth inning, the Phillies would add another run on 2 hits. You know, Rogers did a good job pitching out of jams. This could have been a lot worse. 3-0, 6-8, you know, it's a quality start, right? So he gives up a run here on a Sosa single, scoring Trea Turner, who had doubled, right? Turner had a big game today. More on the stats in a minute. Top of the 6th for the Marlins. No runs on 1 hit. Berger lined out to left to make the final out of the inning. You could kind of see Jake swinging it better and better. Hold on to that thought. We'll be right back here with that in just a minute, and then we're going to hit the break. 3-0 after 6. Pache, Marchand, Schwarber. 1, 2, 3 for Rogers. Then in the top of the 7th, the Phillies were victimized, to say the least. And Strahm, their great bullpen. I mean, really, Strahm's great, right? And of course, Hoffman. Strahm and Hoffman have been phenomenal all year for the Phils. And the Marlins got him in the 7th inning. Gordon flies out. Anderson grounds out. 2 outs, nobody on. Lopez singles to center out. Lopez has been great lately. Unbelievable. Keeping those hands back, going the other way. Center field, he's been great. Sanchez singles to center. I think of Annabelle every time I say that. Anibal Sanchez. Lopez to third. Chisholm hit by a pitch right in here, man. That hurt. Sanchez goes to second. And then he steps to the plate. The man himself, Bryan De La Cruz. DLC in the place to be, making it happen. He doubles to center field all the way to the wall. Chisholm scored. Lopez scored. Sanchez scored. And it's 3-3 on one swing of the bat. Swing of the bat from Bryan De La Cruz. And then Josh Bell doubles to left. De La Cruz scores. And just like that, it is 4-3 Marlins. And then the Phillies would score and make it 4-4. In the bottom of the 7th, they come right back. Dane Myers comes into play right. Almost made a heck of a play, man. Turner doubles to center. Harper flies out to left. Turner goes to third on a throwing error by Nick Gordon. And then Bohm hits a sacrifice fly to right. Turner scores. Dane Myers, he just missed him at the dish. Almost got him at the plate. So close. So close. Then in the top of the 8th inning, the Marlins add 2 more on 2 hits and another Phillies error. Berger homers to left to make it 5-4, give the Marlins their first lead of the game. Gordon doubles to right. Anderson grounds out to third. Lopez, fielder's choice to shortstop. Gordon scores on the error by the shortstop, Sosa. It went through the wickets, right between the legs. Lopez goes to second. It makes it 6-4 Miami. Bottom of the 8th for the Phillies, A.J. Puck, who's been great lately coming in the game. Sosa singles to lead it off, but then 1, 2, 3, big strikeout in the middle of Pache there too. And then in the 9th inning, Marte pitching for the Phillies. De La Cruz strikes out swinging. Bell strikes out swinging. And Myers singles to center, steals second. Berger singles to left. Myers scored. Have a game, Jake Berger. Bottom 9 for the Phillies. 1, 2, and 3. Both on the strikes to Marsh, who struck out. Looking to start the inning. Turner grounds out to third. Harper grounds out to second. He comes up lame with a hamstring when he hits the bag. Schwarber came up lame on the leg in the outfield in the inning before, and the Marlins got the 7-4 win. 7 runs in the last 3 innings. You are watching your Locked On Marlins postcast right here on Locked On Sports Miami, listening wherever you get your audio podcast, Spotify, Stitcher, Podbean, Apple Music, iHeart, you name it, we are here for you every single day with your Locked On Marlins postcast still to come here on the show. 7 after 7, baby. 7 runs after 7 innings. Burger time. De La crushed. Harper hurt. Game 2 tomorrow, and the pen was perfect again. We will give you the numbers when we come back. It was a great inning. 5 strikeouts for Wheeler. Baseball Fan 31, love having you here. Making the conversation interesting. You can get in the chat anytime you want. Hop in and have some fun with us as well. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast, and as usual, I am late for the break. But I am not late with my taxes. That's right. Here at Locked On Marlins postcast, we pride ourselves on getting you the latest news for your team, whether it's the offseason, the draft, spring training, the playoffs, doesn't matter. It's year-round, right? You know what else is year-round? Collection season. Just because tax season is over doesn't mean the IRS is going to stop coming after you for your unfiled taxes. I filed mine. You need to file yours if you haven't. The IRS can garnish your wages. They can levy your bank accounts. They can even seize your property. Don't let the IRS target you Let the licensed professionals and tax experts at Tax Network USA go to bat for you. With over 14 years of experience and an A-plus rating by the Better Business Bureau, Tax Network USA has saved their clients over $1 billion in tax debt. Whether you owe taxes, whether you have complicated matters that require tax planning, or whether you finally hit that parlay, baby, and you need help to file it correctly, call 1-800-549-1000. That's 1-800-549-1000. Or visit tnusa.com/lockedon. That's for Tax Network USA. And also today's show brought to you by our good friends at eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what keeps your ride or die alive. I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm talking about your whip, your ride, baby. The wheels. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof racks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber, not cash. With all the parts you need at the prices you want, it's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only, exclusions apply. eBay Guaranteed Fit, only available to U.S. customers. Of course, I want to thank you again for making your Locked On Marlins postcast your first listen every day. We love you, Miami. Who's this? I love you, Miami. Livan Hernandez, baby. We're free and available wherever you get podcasts and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And this episode of Locked On Marlins Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Yeah! The right stay can make you a fan of any city, even your rivals. Check out Booking.com for your stay today. And some Marlins fans who booked with Booking.com, happy up in Philly tonight. Hit those bars, hit those pubs, hit those restaurants, and have some fun. The Fish win the opener 7-4 over the Phils. And what a game it ended up being. 7 runs in the last couple of innings. A huge win for the Miami Marlins. Anthony Bender gets the win to go to 3-2. In one inning, he allowed a hit, and that's about it. Hey, that rhymes. I can't say it, but you know what I'm saying. That's 3. That's a triple right there. If you're playing Uno, man, you'd be in trouble. And Hoffman gets the loss to go to 3-1, his first one of the year. And, you know, when you talk about Strahm and Hoffman, there was a ridiculous number they gave in the show today on the air. Crookie did. John Crook. Love John Crook. Crook said, what was the stat that they gave about him? It was, about Strahm, the middle reliever for the Phillies, that his ERA was, let's see, his ERA was 0.29 since opening day before today. And the Marlins ripped his butt tonight. Zach Wheeler was really upset about the umpire in the 7th inning. A couple of pitches to Otto Lopez, one in particular that he wasn't happy with. They took him out. Boom. Rip City. And, the Phils lose the game. Philadelphia had a 3-0 lead into the 7th. They were 44-2 with a 3-run lead going into the 7th. Now they are 44-3. Count them, baby. 3. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Philly fans. 3. Harper had the RBI double. Let's see. Rogers has been really consistent with the start. Want to see what else I got here before I finish up with the box score for you. The error on Sosa. Trea Turner scores on the hit by Alec Boehm in the 7th. Made it a 4-4 tie on the sac fly. Man, Harper has 58 ribs, 20 homers, and 20 doubles. Let's see. Interesting. All right, here we go. Back to the box we go. You ready? For the Marlins, at the dish, Jazz Chisholm 0 for 4 with a run scored and 2 strikeouts. Not his best game. Plus, he got crushed by that pitch. It hurt him. Did score a run, though. He's always making something happen. Saw a lot of pitches tonight. You can always find positive things from every game, for the most part, from Jazz. DLC in the place to be, baby. Bryan De La Cruz, 2 for 4, 3 RBIs, and the run scored. It was a 3-run double. Also struck out twice, but who gives a you-know-what after that? 1 for 5 for Bell with an RBI, hitting the ball better, though. And Sanchez 1 for 2 with a walk. Myers came in for him, was 1 for 2 with a run scored. Burger time, 3 for 5 with all the fixins. 2 RBIs, a run scored, and a home run for Jake Burger. Nick Gordon, 1 for 5 with a run scored, 1 for 4 for Tim Anderson. Lopez, 1 for 4 with a run scored, 2 for 3 for Sanchez with the run scored as well. Meanwhile, for the Phillies, Schwarber went 1 for 4 before he tweaked his leg. More on that hopefully tomorrow for you. B. Marsh, 0 for 1. Turner, 2 for 4, with 3 runs scored and a walk. He was unbelievable. Harper, 1 for 5 with the RBI double in the first inning. He was 0 for 4 after that. Castellanos, 2 walks and an 0 for 2 performance for him. Sosa, 2 for 4 with an RBI. 0 for 3 for Merrifield. 1 for 4 for Pache. Marchand, 1 for 4 with an RBI, a run scored, and that home run. Meanwhile, for the Marlins, on the rubber, 6 innings for Rogers, 6 hits. Mr. Rogers' neighborhood. 3 runs, all earned, 4 walks, 4 strikeouts, 103 pitches. He gave way to Bender, who got the win. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 run. But he got the win. It was a sacrifice fly that he gave up. A.J. Puck, an inning, a hit, a strikeout. Tanner Scott got number 11 as far as saves. He is 11 for 14 after a blew one in the final game of the first series of the week before they went to, in Kansas City, before they went to Philadelphia. He did have a strikeout. He's their best player, best pitcher for sure, Tanner Scott. So, all right, the Marlins, nice win, nice job, really nice job. And Baseball Fan 31 participation trophy for Philly. I love it. Yeah, he had 5 strikeouts. He did, and he looked good, man. When you can come back, and I mean, when you're throwing that, when you reach back, did you see Jazz's at bat in the first Baseball Fan 31? When you reach back and hum that thing in there at 97, when you've been hitting 95, those extra 2 miles an hour make a big difference. But Jazz saw 7 pitches there. They never stop fighting. They're not a great hitting team. Berger's been abysmal. He came through today. Bell's been hitting the ball a little bit better. All those guys are complimentary guys. They still need those 3-4 guys in the lineup that they don't have. Solei's not here. So they don't have that this year. Half the team, from the pitching standpoint, is on the injured list. And we'll give you an injury update a little bit later. All the fixins for Jake Burger. You like that, baseball fan? Burger with all the fixins, all the RBIs, all the runs scored, even the home run today for Jake. And you made a point earlier, Baseball Fan 31, that the Marlins have done really well against the Phillies this year. Their record against the Phillies is pretty good. We will. It's 2-2 on the season. They won the last game in Miami the last time the Phillies were in town. Now this one, and they lost too early. So they're 2-2 in the regular season series, which not a lot of teams are doing that, playing the Phillies at 500. And so the Marlins cover the spread. The over hits. Remember I told you yesterday, Marlins and the over, baby. Marlins and the over. What happened? I believe 11's over 9.5, and I believe the Marlins won. Hey, blind squirrel finds the acorn once in a while. What can I say? You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. I'm Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries. Look at Jimmy just chilling on my shirt. Man, tell you what, it's going to be a good night, a festive night in Philly. I had to throw Jimmy up there, Jimi Hendrix. And look at that shot right there of Bryan De La Cruz right when he knew. And you know that feeling as a hitter, man, or woman. You know that feeling when you crush one. And the only question in your mind, is it gone, or is it a one-hopper, or is it off the wall? But you know with the bases jacked and stacked and racked that you got 3. You know you got 3, and you might have 4. That's the face and the look, the stance, the posture, everything on Bryan De La Cruz in that picture right there. And it, my friends, is a beautiful, and I mean beautiful, thing. You're watching your Locked On Marlins postcast. 1 segment to go. We'll tell you who the biggest stars of the game were. We'll look ahead to tomorrow's game and, of course, the injury list, which is a part of the Marlins season and everybody's season, really, but theirs in particular with the pitching staff right now. It's Locked On Marlins postcast. Keep it here. Did I get that? Yeah. Oh, yeah. There we go. That's a good one. That is a big one. Right there. Bear with me. Come on, load, baby. Load, load, load. All right. This episode of Locked On Marlins Postcast is brought to you by Booking.com. Booking.yeah. With summer travel heating up, especially for baseball games, hello, what else you going to travel for? It's time to explore those U.S. cities you always secretly wanted to learn more about. Yes, we're talking about baseball. No, we're talking about your rival cities. With hotels, bed and breakfast, vacation rentals, resorts, and so much more on Booking.com, you might just find your perfect stay even in your baseball rival's city. You know what I'm saying? This is really cool when you think about that. Hotels that look over stadiums, right? Family-friendly resorts, bring the kiddos, get those memories popping. Booking.com has so many choices across the U.S. for your summer travel this MLB season. I've traveled all over the country going to baseball stadiums, and there's nothing better than watching your team get a win on the other team's turf, just like Philly today. They're killing everyone. Marlins got that win today. That is the stuff that legends are made of, brother and sister. You got to get there and be a part of that action. The right stay can make you a fan of any U.S. city, and I mean any U.S. city, even Philadelphia, even all your rivals. Book today on Booking.com, on the site, or in the Booking.com apps. That was awesome. Get that win today in Philly. People buying on Booking.com. I want to thank you one more time for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And one more commercial to do before the end of the show, and we will get it in now with a question for you, my fish-friendly friend. Are you struggling to close deals? Are you struggling to close deals? Think about that for 1 second. B2B selling, tougher than ever, and that's why I want to tell you about LinkedIn Sales Navigator. LinkedIn Sales Navigator is a sales intelligence platform that helps professionals effectively prospect and engage high-value customers, drive higher revenue, and increase sales performance. Sales Navigator helps you target the right buyers, surface key signals such as job changes or which accounts you should prioritize, and shows you hidden allies so you can find those buyers that are most likely to convert. Fueled by LinkedIn's 1 billion member platform, Sales Navigator gives you the most up-to-date first-party data, enabling you to unlock conversations with the people that matter. Right now, you can try LinkedIn Sales Navigator and get a 60-day free trial at linkedin.com/lockedon. That's linkedin.com/lockedon for a 60-day free trial. Let LinkedIn Sales Navigator help you sell like a superstar today. Just go to linkedin.com/lockedon and get started. Let's get it started in here. Let's get it started. We're about to finish, but one thing that's just getting started in here. Locked On has launched the first ever national sports 24/7 streaming channel on YouTube. And now it's also available on the Amazon Fire TV in the free Fire TV channels app. Locked On Sports Today, baby, is here for you 24/7, covering the top sports stories of the day with local experts of Locked On, plus our national shows covering every league. Find Locked On Sports Today, now available on the free Fire TV channels app. One more time, want to thank you for making Locked On Marlins POSTCAST your first listen every day, wherever you get your podcasts, on the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. And, of course, tonight's show is brought to you by Booking.com. I'm booking to booking on Booking.com. Wrapping it up on your Locked On Marlins POSTCAST. What do you think, baseball fan 31? Love the you were there for the walk-off win against the Phillies on Mother's Day. That was the one that they ended the series with, and my mom left the day before to go home. I had been with her for 2 weeks. I remember that series well, and I just remember thinking, man, they got that getaway win. They got these series coming up where they can really start to, but it didn't work out for the Marlins. They just played abysmally, especially offensively for the first half of June, but they're starting to come on again, And thank you for the mic quality. Yeah, you know what it is, baseball fan 31? I have all the equipment, the mixers and everything. They're very sensitive going through the computer. Very different than radio, TV, telecast, anything like that. Very sensitive, so you have to be really careful with all the streaming stuff. It's not quite as easy as we make it seem here on the Locked On Podcast Network. Wrapping it up, and we are going to give you real quick did they do the gotta get this done. The recap just came in. Gotta love the refresh button. We'll hit the recap real quick. Make sure we didn't miss anything for you on this show, and we don't miss anything. Come on, that's a not even a correct statement, or just a misnomer even saying that word. Bryce Harper limped off the field with an apparent hamstring injury after making the final out for the Philadelphia Phillies in their 7-4 loss to the Miami Marlins on Tuesday night. Make that Thursday night. Can't read. Hustling down, that's the University of Miami education. All about the U. Of course I can read, and of course I have a great education. Hustling down the line as he tried to beat out a grounder to the right side, Harper reached for his left hamstring after crossing first base and hobbled toward the dugout. Earlier in the day, Harper was elected by fans to start at first base for the National League in the July 16th All-Star Game at Texas, and that's the 6th time, 5 times in the outfield One time here at first, Rob Thompson, the Phillies manager, says he just felt his hamstring grab going down the line. Don't know anything more than that. We'll just have to wait until tomorrow and check him out. But I will tell you this, Bryce Harper ain't going anywhere tonight. That dude's going to be sitting on the couch with some ICE, baby, some ICE. And I don't believe that the recap is even finished. What in the world is going on here? Nope. Wow. Wow. Okay, it's the AP recap, and all it talks about is Harper's injury. So we're not going to have time to get to that for you tonight, make sure we didn't miss anything, but you know that we don't. And we got time for one more comment. Baseball fan 31. Oh, I guess that was the one that you had already put in there. And I really appreciate everything from you and all our friends here watching and listening today. Locked On Sports Miami. Nope, still no recap yet. But what we can do is take a look at tomorrow's game. The over-under is 8.5, baby. Minus 115 on the over and minus 105 on the under. Miami's 28-52. Philly 53-27. Kyle Tyler, Christopher Sanchez 0-0 against 5-3 with a 2.67. The IRA for Tyler's 4.5 for what it's worth. The Phillies are minus 280 favorite. Miami plus 230. Now think about that with Harper and Schwarber potentially injured. Get on that now. Get on it now, Fish fans, at plus 230. You got a guy on the mound in Tyler who's going to give you a chance tomorrow. These guys who teams haven't seen a lot of, the scouting reports aren't there. Even great hitters like the Phillies could have trouble with a kid like Tyler. Sanchez is good for the Phillies, not great. I really think, look, I mean, he's got 70 strikeouts in 84 innings. He's not a bad pitcher, right? Not bad. But he's hittable. 84 hits in 84 innings. He's hittable. And you're plus 230. If Schwarber and Harper don't play, throw something on there now, FanDuel, and make something happen. That'd be my best advice there. And I hope you like that and you take that to the bank, straight to the bank with this. Ha, 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 ha. Ha, 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 ha. Harper needs an ice pack, for real. Harper needs an ice pack. Phils need a hug. How about that for the headline? As the Marlins beat the Phillies 7-4. Maybe that was funnier to me than anybody else, but I kind of like it, man. Look, baseball's a funny game. I tell you every day, one team can win the World Series. One team can be in first place. Baseball's about entertainment. It's 162 games. The rules changes I love with the timers and the timeout rules. It's incredible. You think you're going to have 3.5 hours? Nope, 2 hours, 2.5. It's amazing. It's changed the game so much. Now if we could get like a 120-game season instead of 162, guy can dream, can he? But nevertheless, I will tell you that the Marlins beat the Phillies 7-4 today to open up the series in the city of brotherly love. And it's Tyler and Sanchez going tomorrow in Game 2. The Marlins have won two in a row. Looking good, starting to hit the ball. No Schwarber, no Harper. They get to Sanchez tomorrow. They've already started to get to that bullpen a little bit. Let's see what happens for the Marlins for the rest of this series. Really happy to have you here with me. Thank you so much for making this your first stop every single day. And I am just grateful to have you here. I'll tell you that. Very, very, very blessed to be doing what I'm doing. We're all blessed to be growing. 400 million people over the last 12 months coming to Locked On. 180. I mean, it's just unbelievable a month. It's an incredible network. It's growing every day. The postcasts are doing even more. We're going to be adding some more stuff to that. Just growing slowly. And not even slowly, quickly. And just I'm so proud to be a part of a group that's growing and building and burgeoning, soon to be taking over the world with the Locked On Sports Podcast Network. My name is Jim Grieshaber. Call me Gries, at @JimGries_ on social media. Telling you right now, you probably thought I forgot. That's all there is, Fish fans. There is no more. Shout out to the Mad Dog riding around with his windows down up there. Jim Mandich as the Marlins win 7-4. He was my biggest mentor, him and Jeff DeForest. The Deef, got to love the Deef too. But the Deef's still kicking it down there. And where is he now? Pompano Beach? I don't know where he is. But anyway, long story short, that's going to do it for us. We appreciate you being here. Keep your game tight and your mind right, Fish fans. 7-4 Marlins. And we are